And we're live. And we're live. Pex is in the house. We've got Pex on the channel. I can't believe this. Pex, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. How about you?
You and I talk all of the time, yet we've never spoke on the stream, I don't think.
No, this will be the first time.
But this I'm excited, man. I'm actually getting a little bit like nervous and shy here.
We talk all the time. Why would I be nervous, right? Yeah. But no, I get nervous in every interview I've done. I've done a bunch. I ran a podcast for 2 years, and I got nervous going on those because I was speaking to professionals, and I'm over here in my amateur hour corner.
Yeah, you're professional, man. You're pro hour.
I'm pro now. Yeah, no jitters, none. Yeah. Oh man, 2 years. Wow.
2 year anniversary in Patreon. It's gone fast, man. It's gone real fast. But I remember the first year too. I don't think I ever really spoke to you about my Patreon like in the early years. But it's like I genuinely didn't know what to do with it, you know. And I said that in the anniversary video. It's like I know that it has a place, and I didn't know what that place was. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to engage with folks. So I'm genuine when I said I'm just glad to have you on board. That's true, because I never would have got there on my own, like ever, even with all of the time in the world.
Right, and I don't think you're doing anything necessarily wrong or different than anybody else was doing. It was just a matter of, okay, here's the pieces what we have and what we should really focus on when I first started to come to work with you, and then just expanding on, okay, now that we've set the foundation, let's build up from here. And anybody doing this or thinking about doing this, it's a lot of work. Don't be fooled. It's not like I came in and waved a wand, even though that's how it appears. But by a lot of folks' standards, it's a tall order to get things built in place, to have that foundation to build off of, to then build more, like a skyscraper. You're building a skyscraper. You literally are, and it takes time, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of work.
Wargaming Recon is already coming to the chat, and he is starting to lay down his gold in redeeming things. You can see it already.
Money. Everywhere, money.
Hey, Phantom Jen. Hey, Lord Dalius. Hey, Wargame Recon. Good to see you all. Look who we've got with us.
All the people. I may have overextended my special powers, but hey, people are coming in the door, so fuck it, right? Yeah, look at all the people. Whoa, yeah. And I'm actually gonna put our shout out on our own social medias, because that's the thing, and this is my job. Look at me work while working.
Isn't that kind of like Inception at this point?
Right? My mind's just blown. I'm on a live stream promoting my own live stream. Or your live stream, rather. Or our live stream, something. I don't know.
It's ours.
There we
Peximus Max, says Wargaming Recon. Just so everyone knows what I'm doing, because I'm facing sideways, I'm reading the description for these two rooms. I've got to finish these off. Anonymous. Is it over? Is it over? Is Necropolis finally ready? I don't know about ready. It's darn close. It's darn close. At least this level of it. There we go. I've got my rooms done. Let me zoom out on this. I've got to do 1.5 maps. This is the one, and I've got to do a side view. The side view doesn't concern me at all. The half view, I haven't actually looked at that map in a while, but it's more like this. So I don't think I'm too concerned about that. I have every room done on this map now. Now I do need to, though, come back through the brickwork. You see how the brickwork is, like, right here is kind of finished? We've got our highlights and our lowlights and our midtones and everything. Apparently we've got a big huge spider right here. But we don't have this here. I've got to do all of the bricks that way. And I'll probably do a lot of that off camera. Or maybe a little bit tonight.
Something I've always wanted to ask you, how do you decide when a room is going to be dark or well lit or medium lit?
That's a good question, by the way. Anonymous, thank you for following, by the way. I appreciate it, because obviously you can't always get into Twitch and see it happening, so the fact that you do then go to YouTube and check it out there is fantastic. I've been doing a little bit of work of this, by the way, off camera. So you'll see these sort of jumps that I do. In fact, I think this room here I did off camera as a prime example. So light and dark, Pex. This has kind of been my default shadowing here. Even if a description says that it's a dark corridor, and I think this one does, we need to put this...
That's what I always think in my head, like, what defines dark? Is it super dark? Like, I can't see my hands?
Well, there's no illumination here, right? So,
right, exactly.
Theoretically, this whole map should be black. But we can't do that. So I think I just try to ensure that the walls have a sense of height, and then you can handle the shadows and BTT and that type of shit, you know? That's what I think is the best way to do it. And so I add shadows to give a sense of height and depth to things, and then I leave it. Here, I went pretty light on the shadows because it's a black room with black walls. And I'm like, if I do shadow here, like this bit, it's like we're never going to be able to see anything. So I tried to throttle it back.
Cool. Well, now I know. Or I think I do. I'm going to go with I think I do.
Someone can hear my kitty in the background. Yeah, he's decided that he's going to start whining. He'll shut up in a minute. But these corridors here, I did super dark shadow because of the room description. I'm just going to leave it like that, you know? But otherwise, I just give it a sense of depth. Is that Princess Strigger? There's Princess Striggers. No, but I tried to just give it a sense of depth and then kind of walk away from it.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, because when I play games, mainly these days it's on BTT, and I'm always like, no. Because their darkness tools are like pitch black or pitch black. So there's really no option. There's some illumination tools, of course, but it's kind of like guesswork.
Yeah, I think I've got to... I think I have to draw a dungeon as if there is light, at least coming from the party, you know? And I can't guess where the party is located at any one time, or where people with lights, or what type of lights you've got. So I've just got to have it illuminated. Otherwise, you're not going to see anything I've done.
I love all the little things, items.
Well, that's why...
Accoutrements, there we go.
This is why Frog asks me to do these maps, right? It's like... And so Mark actually tested this room, and it's not in the description. What do you think the players saw when they came into this room? What's one of the things they first saw?
Statues.
This guy. The teddy bear with the knife and the blood.
Oh, yeah, Teddy, yeah.
And that's what I like doing. I just like, you know, excuse my French, effing around in the rooms, right. You know? I want people to, like, be making their way through, and they come to the end and they go, well, what's that? Oh, wait a minute, does he have something written on his shirt? I want that type of response.
I mean, I've been watching this a while now and participating a while as well in the chat here, and every time I find something new. And I've seen this map I don't know how many times.
And that's what I shoot for. That's what I want. I'm going to do the Royal Barge room here. The door to this room is made of cedar wood. Yeah. Bound with bronze. That's what we've got. By the way, no spoilers. There's a 12-foot long... It might be a little bit longer than that. 12-foot long barge sitting on a 2-foot tall stone plinth. I think we'll add some stone plinths. The barge is flat-bottomed and narrow. Only 4 feet at its widest extent. Yeah, about right. The bow, which is closest to the door, rises up and narrows. Alright. Blah, 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 blah. Flat, in the middle of the barge is an embroidered canopy with silver and gold thread. Alright, so I'm just going to touch up this barge a little bit right here.
Cool. Apparently we were preserved by the great and powerful Glazer. Both of them.
I saw the important Glazer in the room, and behind her there is always the other Glazer who...
We're going to say lesser Glazer?
The lesser Glazer. I don't think he would admit that. He would say, yeah, that's true. He would.
That's true, he probably would.
And I will say too, Jen, the primary glazer, has already indicated this. This is getting kick-started some point this year. I'm not going to talk to it any more than that. The Frogs are kick-starting Necropolis this year. So watch out for it.
So if you ask me, my answer is I know nothing. So sometime. I know that. I know as much as you, so.
Anonymous, you're humbling me, my friend. Thank you so much.
Congrats on the gold. You should highlight like all your text now, Princess. Just to get rid of all the gold. Because every text deserves to be highlighted. Oh yeah, Noble Dwarf Sale is still 30% off. You can get a list of stuff there. A little bot just put the link in chat that goes directly to her storefront inside Noble. That'll end this Friday, so if you were thinking about getting her work on canvas or a mug or a t-shirt, this week's the week to do it, because it's going away soon.
It's been a fun, little promotion that they ran.
Yeah, and I think Planet X Games and Troll Lord Games, as of this week, are now on the store as well, so there's even more stuff to choose from. That sale is site-wide, by the way, but buy less of stuff first.
Yeah, but buy my stuff. But my stuff is coming along now. It's not just even about the canvas prints. Now you can actually get cups, and they're great cups too, or t-shirts or hoodies. Yeah, I'm excited at how robust our merchant line is shaping up.
Right, me too. And we're getting some more stuff out there. I mean, the neck gaiters just launched this week. If you want one, face mask should be up by the end of the week.
And we actually have Noble in the house with us. Look at that.
Woo, Noble.
And Clever is with us.
I don't know rejoicing, but I will acknowledge that you have arrived.
Now, of course, it's not all about Necropolis, even though that's what we're working on here. The Frogs have got a couple of other things in the hopper that I think we're going to have Pex tell us about.
Ooh, things. We work on things.
I'm going to... Let me zoom out on this thing, because I'm painting the canopy right now. So, Pex, tell us about this one. What is this?
Yeah, I got a 50 shot of guessing what you're going to pull up, so...
Sianchu's Laments. Is it Sianchu's Laments?
Yes, that is our St. Patrick's Day module. It's got 31 hours left, so I would order it soon. The gist of our Indiegogos is they're a limited print run, so you order it, and that's basically all we print of it. The PDF, of course, will be forever on the site and on drive-thru as well. And this one in particular, let me pull it back up. So, it was written on Ian McGarty. He's a really cool guy. He worked on the Black Lung, I think we've mentioned on the channel before. And basically it's about a bard, a legendary bard. He travels the land for years and years and years. And it either the name is a title that gets passed on, or whether it's a supernatural being's kind of a mystery. And his tales have taken a dark turn as a result of a wager that got lost, and his presence is spreading havoc. And it's kind of like unlocking a mystery of fact from fiction, and exploring and adventuring while doing so. It's a fun little jaunt. We're starting doing a lot more of these holiday-themed modules, and they're really fun, actually. I like running them for one-shots or an ongoing thing. You can definitely expand upon these.
I like the fact, too, that it's 5e, Pathfinder, Princess. There you go, Pathfinder. You're always asking about Pathfinder. Here you go. They've got you covered. And Sword and Wizardry.
I'm a Swords and Wizardry man myself, so I love it when I see S&W come on the scene. And so far, it's been on most every project we've done, so it keeps me happy.
And only $10 for the PDF, too.
Yeah, $10 for PDFs, a steal. And if you're just getting one system print version, it's $24. And we usually release the PDFs pretty close to when the project's finished, so probably this week. If you back now, you'll get your PDF this week, more than likely.
That's fantastic, man. That is awesome.
The physical will come later, of course, because printing. We need to know the number to tell the printer to print, but digital you usually get right away. After the project's concluded, of course. But yeah, this one's got a whole 32 hours left. So get it now, folks.
Get it now, indeed.
See if I have any questions in chat I may have missed on this one.
I'm actually just kind of surprised that you guys are doing the Pathfinder one. I think that's awesome.
Well, we have a very loyal Pathfinder following, especially on the early days. And the switching to Pathfinder 2, not a lot of our core base went that way. And so, well, we can either stop printing Pathfinder or we can keep our fans. We like keeping fans. Keeping fans happy is important. So we made that decision. It was a good decision. And our Pathfinder audience is still pretty strong. We continue to make books for them. Let's see. Yeah, he is an okay guy. Just okay. Nothing more, though.
AEIOU, thank you very much for the sub. That is really, really, really appreciated. I recognize your name. Consider you to be one of the old school. Thank you.
I know that guy. Maybe. No, I know him. I work with him on the World Anvil project, spectacular project. We spoke on that before as well. Let's see here. So here's a fun question, AIU. When are we getting all of Alyssa's products in World Anvil? What's the deal, man? What is the deal?
Ooh, putting them on the spot.
Right? I love putting him on the spot.
This is back into business now. Look at this.
Just turned into a meeting. Oh yes, and if you're unaware, if you sub here, you'll get Patreon rewards that we offer on Patreon.
Is PEC's volume low, by the way? Because this is the same volume that I had Jack on earlier this week. So everyone let me know if that's the case.
I can move my mic a little closer. Maybe that will help some. Maybe.
Okay. Well, Princess. Okay. Yeah. A couple of people have said that low. I'm gonna hike you up a little bit. There we go.
Behold,
hey,
my powerful voice.
The booming voice of PEX. All right. Well, I just bumped you up a little bit. I can't believe how like there was not one size fits all right here.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to go up and down at its whim. So maybe it's like haunted. I don't know. So how's my volume now, guys? Needs to go up more? Am I good? Am I too low? I even moved my mic closer. I can continuously talk forever, so you may want to stop me at some point.
Like, PEX is coming through pretty damn loud for me, just so you know, in my ears. Where else would it be? Yeah.
Perfect, and that's better.
All right.
There,
cool.
And we'll settle for that.
Then I'm just going to do a smidge more because Allah asked for it, and Allah always gets her way in my channel.
Ooh. So, who is the little statue on the boat?
I'm going to actually get rid of him. Because now I've actually read the description again, I'm like, he's got to go. I just thought it would look cute on the boat.
I mean, if I was a player, that would totally be a cursed item, and I would
I think I'm gonna leave it
as far away from that room as possible.
I think I'm gonna leave him on the boat. He's not mentioned on the boat. There's like a throne underneath this canopy here, but I think I'm gonna leave the little statue at the front because why not?
Trying to think of a name. What should we call him? What do you guys think in chat? What should his name be? Or her name?
Or her. Yeah.
I always forget there's a delay in the chat.
Yeah, about 5 seconds.
The name for the statue on the boat. He's got the little shiny rock or gem in his hand. Great almighty Pex. The
Oh,
Pex-
okay.
I mean, I wasn't gonna go for vanity, but I will indulge it. Cedric. Or Cedric.
Oh, look at that from anonymous. Statuey Max statue face. This is what the internet does. This is what it does. Boaty Mac boat face.
Creating memes every 10 seconds.
Hey, Treebor's here.
Hey, Treebor.
Oh, we got a Cedric. We got an Anchor.
Mini Pex. Fezzik. Fezzik is a good name.
Fezzik is a good name.
I like Fezzik. I think I will, with Alyssa's blessing, dub the Fezzik statue.
I think we could do that. You know this stream by now. We get all sorts of ideas and it becomes like almost part of the canon, you know what I'm saying? It's an Easter egg. It's like one day you'll lean over someone's shoulder as they're playing this on a con and you go, yeah, his name is Fezzik. And they'll go, what?
I was at the stream one time. It's those stories, man, that make it extra charming.
Hey, Dungeon Tomb.
Some may call him Tim.
Hey, Jay's here too. Alright, so what? I'm going to move on to this room next.
Cool.
But before, I'm actually going to read the description for this room. And it's 15D. And then we're going to talk about the second thing that frogs have got going on right now. Okay.
Oh, I was a poor host. I didn't put the link for it in chat.
I did. Your
Oh,
first
yeah.
one, I did. Yep.
Gotcha. Oh, it's wanting me to sign in.
Clever says, and the tone is all mine, but the words are Clever's. So what is it you do at Frog God? Pets?
That's a fantastic question.
Jay says, what does he not do?
Well, originally when I hired on, it was a bunch of data entry back-end work, like putting products on the site, that slowly evolved into me proving that I was competent and capable of more and more jobs. And with that complexity came more responsibility, and with that more responsibility came more jobs. So there's a lot of things I dabble in, and there's a lot of things I concentrate full time in. I would say what I do today is I work on the social media side of things. I help with the original task that I was signed up for with the back end products on the website and drive-through, and more so in particular on that in Kickstarter fulfillment. So I'm the guy who gets your digital awards when they come in. So it's not my fault if they don't come in. I'm waiting for them to come in to give to you guys. So not my fault. Don't yell at me. Well, you can yell at me. It's okay. I get yelled at every day.
And then, someone did say, by the way, that you are Santa Claus and you hand out prizes and gifts.
It's true. I do that. I do some tests in our Discord. I use the audience to test with, make sure like a coupon code's working. And I turned it into a little game, and they seem to be liking it. And I have a different requirement, like I'll make them say silly things, and it's kind of like me playing God, and I love it. And I run the Discord. Speaking of that, and the World Anvil Project. And then Zach Glazer, to his credit and Jim's credit, have been trying to get some of those, it's a digital thing, make text do it tasks pulled off of me onto other people so I can focus on the things I'm really good at. And that's highly appreciated if you guys are still here. Which I assume you are, because it's me, so. But, and let's see, what else do I do? I take ideas that I see you guys talking about to the powers that be that make the big, powerful decisions to see if they want to run with it or want to expound upon it or toy around with the ideas. So if you have ideas, I am watching. So there is that.
Moondark, it's good to see you here, by the way, and I'm sure the frogs thank you for your patronage of their products. They do some, like you say, pretty good stuff. Talking of which, Pex, I think we should say to everyone, this is my 2-year anniversary of my Patreon. I consider it to be my 1-year anniversary. Now Pex is on board. He's making it so much better. And to celebrate, Pex, what are we going to do on today's chat?
Today, we're going to get rid of all the books I don't want. Well,
is like one of them, and it's kind of moth-eaten.
Right. I have some soft cover versions of Teagle Manor. I have let's see if it shows up here. Delay. Come on, delay.
Oh, and because you've got that virtual background on, you may need to hold it right up to the camera. It'll crop everything out.
It doesn't like it.
It doesn't like it. It doesn't like it.
Let's see. Here, let's see what I can do on Zoom. I can turn this off probably as soon as I can find the Zoom window. Choose virtual background. Where's the none option? None. There we go. Crystal clear. There's a Teagle Manor. There's the 5e logo. And if you did not know, Alyssa's famous map is in this one. And not only that, I will give away 3 of the Swords and Wizardry, because I'm a Swords and Wizardry guy, as explained. There's the SMW logo as proof. I got 3 of these to give away.
And I'm not just saying this either now. When I picked up the new Teagle Manor book, I was blown away. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. Not only because my map's in it, but the presentation, the print, the layout, it's top notch. It really is.
They're fantastic. I remember James Spahn at North Texas was supposed to run Teagle Manor, and he did not show up for one of his channel members had health issues he had to take care of, which is understandable. Like, hey, Pex, you want to run it? I'm like, I get to play with the big map? Yes, I want to run it. I've never played Teagle Manor, knew nothing about it other than its historical significance of a famous module, and then I just volunteered to run it. So I had to go to some vendor booth to buy the original, and then I tried to read it within like an hour of me trying to run the game, and you know what? I have enough map here where I'm just gonna make it up as I go, and I did. I don't know if anybody noticed, but they told me they liked the game. So
I think most GMs on Teagle end up doing that, by the way.
Right, I tried reading it, and it was like you're reading Necropolis here. It was very much like that experience. All respect to the original and people who love it near and dear to their heart. I could not run it as is, personally. And kudos to people that can, but I could not. I was too people.
So I guess the $1 billion question is, do we have the raffle lined up for this? Are we going to be able to do the raffle?
I decided to make it a game instead. I'm going to ask them some Melissa questions. And the first one to get right will win.
Okay.
I changed it up on you without speaking to you. I'm a horrible person.
So, like, I guess we have one book per half hour, right? Did you want to start with the Sword and Wizardry version?
Absolutely. So, the questions will get harder and harder. We'll save the 5e for the last one. So, if you're 5e fans, sorry. S&W guy, remember that. So, the easy question of the night will be, how many Patreon tiers does Alyssa currently have? First answer in chat wins. How many Patreon tiers does Alyssa currently have?
You know what to do, folks. You know what
Princess,
to do.
Win.
Did Princess get it?
Yeah, she did. She was the first one to enter.
Boom, just like that. Boom.
So, Princess, I know you're in Discord. If you would do me the courtesy of tossing me your mailing address, just in a private message, I will get that sent off to you when the snow goes away. Because I am in the beautiful state of Texas, and it's not so beautiful right now as some of you watching the news may know.
That was fast, Princess.
It was fast.
That was incredibly fast. Moondog, thank you for the sub. Huge thank you.
Woo! It is true. I'm one of the few fortunate people that do have power. There's a guy that also works with Alyssa. His name is Morgan. He does not have power. He had to go find a hotel after a couple days because he couldn't stand it. And I don't blame him. It's super cold out right now.
Anonymous, thanks for just being here. Really, truly appreciated.
Woo! Hey, Frog Got Games subscribed to us. Weird.
That's weird.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, that's fine, Princess. No worries. I mean, like I said, I'm probably stuck inside for a couple days at least. It'll melt on Saturday. Freak storm. Stupid storm.
Alright, some point in the next half hour, we'll do the second drawing competition. Fight off. Duel.
Highlander duel. There can only be one. Let's see.
AEIOU wants to know what he won while he was eating.
You've won the privilege of importing Teagle Manor by the end of the weekend, Val. I want it in World Anvil by the end of the weekend. Maps and all. We're not giving him tacos. No, Jen. No tacos for him. Al is very much right. We never get snow, but when we do, it counts.
I actually feel a little bit lucky myself too, because you know I bitch a lot on Discord about wanting snow. Well, we got some, and it was about 6 inches, which okay, in the grand scheme of things is not much, but by Portland standards, that ain't bad. Well, I actually had 2 friends have their power completely knocked out as well. I think one of them is still out, a little bit Texas style. And wow. Jack and I are just motoring along. I mean, can you imagine how disruptive it would be to my mapping? Like, holy balls, and like the stream, just everything. It would just disrupt everything.
Well, I live out in the middle of nowhere, so I was strongly guessing that I was going to be one of the people without power, because they were calling that early on before it hit us, or the whole weather hit us. But nope, power remained. Power continues to remain. Crossing fingers. If I lose power, it'll probably be tonight after midnight or something, as temperatures get colder.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen, obviously.
Yeah. I doubt it will. If it's been up this long, I doubt it's going to go down now, so.
Dungeon Tomb, if you gotta go, my friend, I totally understand. You are almost on the other side of the world. You know I love you very, very much. You take care.
So where did you get the glyphs that are on the floor tiles there?
That's actually a Photoshop brush.
Really?
Yep. It's amazing what you can get on the Photoshop brush nowadays. Like almost anything and everything. Like webs, Photoshop brush. The little glyphy things, Photoshop brush. The God, what else have we got? Oh, the spiders in a web, Photoshop brush.
Ridiculous.
These tendrils of purpleness, Photoshop brush.
I mean, technology just fascinates me as it continues to grow. I can't keep up with it. It's even too much for me, but wow.
Can you see the glyphs? Yeah, but actually let me do it right here. I've got some right here, but I will collapse this down and hieroglyphics, and you can see here's the brush set that I've been using, and we'll do this kind of on a temp layer right here, and I'll do it in black, and maybe not that freaking large, but yeah, I mean it's this type of thing. And what I've been doing is making them quite small, but you know, obviously weathering over the top of them, putting the floor muck, etc. over the top of them. But basically, that where I've needed it, and I don't think that there's any description in here that says and there are glyphs on the floor. But like if it says that the door is covered in glyphs, I'll put some little ones right underneath it in hieroglyphics, obviously. You know, just so there's something going on in the design.
I'm just gonna call it magic.
Magic. Where the magic happens. Alright, actually, Pex, let's talk about the other thing that,
You mean let's get cracking?
let's get cracking. I actually didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah, that's his name. Well, it's pretty much what it looks like and sounds like in the tin can. You fight a kraken. But I'll go a little bit more in depth than that if that hasn't sold you. I don't know why I wouldn't, because it's a kraken. Let's see here. Again, it's for all three of our systems: Pathfinder,
Yeah.
5th edition, and good old Swords and Wizardry. And it's a mid-level-ish type adventure. That's sweet range for 5 and E, 5 to 7. You fight a kraken, and it's an overly powerful monster, and you're on a ship. I believe you're on a ship. I'm not going to say you're on a ship because I don't know. But looks like you're on a ship. Anyway, you fight a kraken, and it's one massive beast in the sea. And let's see.
From this artwork, there may be 2 big beasts in the sea, but spoilers.
Right. And island that dreams can be awakened. So there's some mysterious island, and you're on a quest to find a ritual to perform it, and you can summon up your own gargantuan beast. So for you those that have a dream, a grand dream, you can fill it on the island of dreams. There's a mad sorcerer. There's always a mad sorcerer, right? And a wyvern strip in the town of Ostin.
There's the town right there on the screenshot.
Yep. And it looks like to be a super cool turtle of some kind. I always like turtles.
Let's get cracking. Who named this? Let's get cracking. Who named this one?
I'm gonna blame Zach or Matt. It was one of them two.
$10 for the PDF. Come on, folks.
But actually, it might have been Ken Spencer. I take that back. Ken
All right.
Spencer was the author of this one, and he's a pretty crafty guy. So it actually might have been him.
Already funded. Already funded.
Already funded, ready to print. You can get your PDF at least in about 13 days, give or take. A couple days there for digital fulfillment. Like I said, Kraken sold. I already gave them my money. I need to say no more than Kraken. And yeah, let me drop the link for that one in chat here.
I already did, but go ahead and do it again because they need it.
It can be spammed. It's allowed. There you go. So yeah, Sianchi's Lament, that ends at 31 hours. And then Let's Get Kraken, 13 days. So if you need a break, a breathing room between adventures, because, hey, finances and budgets are a real thing, we totally understand. We're trying to space them out between, I think, 3-week periods now between adventures. There is some overlap time, of course, but we're trying to be more knowledgeable or respectful of that fact that, hey, people live on a budget. And that, yeah. Let's get cracking, Pex. Oh, am I going to be the villain in this one? I hope I'm the villain. I always like villains more than heroes. Well, Jen may know. Jen, who came up with the title? Was that a Ken, or was that a Matt, or was that a Zach?
She did say a little bit earlier, Ken Spencer. Is that right?
Ken? Yeah, Ken's the author, so it looks like...
oh, okay.
Okay. Why wouldn't I fight a Kraken, Jen? If you give me the option to fight or not fight a Kraken, I'm going to fight a Kraken.
Zudrak, thank you very much for the follow there. That's really appreciated.
I'm not opposed to my own cereal line, Lord Dalius, so... If you know a guy, I'm available. High in fiber. High in swords and wizardry. Oh, sorry, I was focusing on what you were drawing on. there's a show to do. What would Peck's cereal taste like? My cereal would taste unformulaic to Cinnamon Toast Crunch, is what my cereal would taste like.
Wait, what?
It tastes exactly like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Except instead of just boring squares, they would be like awesome gnomes. Sugar and Fireball. Yes. Ella gets it.
I don't even know how you had an answer so ready for that one.
Because I have a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch right here.
It's like people think about this type of thing.
Nope. Don't need to think. Already know. Is there a backstory to my name? There absolutely is. So, when I was a wee little lad, I loved the movie Willow. And if you remember the little brownies in there, they were called Pecks. Because there's two of them. They used the plural in the sense. And I had no idea how to spell it. So I went P-E-X-X instead of how it's actually spelled, which is P-E-C-H. Because it, I think, comes from German or Russian descent as the origin of the word. It's been a while since I looked it up. So I always liked that name, and I kind of went with it, and I rolled with it for my EverQuest original, EverQuest 1 character name, who was a halfling, if I remember right, or gnome, one of the two. I forget which one I wrote. I had both. I had PE-XXX and PE-XX characters. I was really obsessed with the name. And it just kind of stuck over time as my online handle. So you can all blame the movie Willow. That's the origin of the name.
Fun fact, I hated the movie Willow.
Oh, for shame.
I know. And I can see the unsubscribes happening right now. But it was too cutesy for me. I mean, it was like the sweet spot of my life. And Conan the Barbarian had come out. And like Conan the Barbarian is shaping everything about my role-playing and how I approach GMing and everything else. And then Willow comes out. And I think I'm the only person on the planet that doesn't like it.
If I hadn't grown up with it, I don't know if I would have liked it as watching it as an adult, to be fair. But I was a child when I watched it, so it had that touched my child heart factor to it. Same with Neverending Story, which I think is a terrible movie today, but I'll still watch it because I grew up with it.
I'm not even sure I've seen Neverending Story. Can you believe that?
Don't watch it. It doesn't hold up today unless you grew up with it again. It just and a song, which Stranger Things brought back. I don't know if that song needed to be brought back, to be fair, but it's a thing. But yeah, I grew up with these garbage fantasy movies, and I love garbage fantasy. Honestly, it's a wrong kind of addiction. My brain's probably rotten because of it.
Well, and I think, for me, there was just way too much, what are the little sprites in it, or whatever they're called. That's what put me off, those little guys. I was at that point in my life where I was a teenager that just didn't want to deal with that crap, Like, Mad Morgan, I'm okay. Him, like, fumbling his swords when he was trying to do flashy shit, I'm okay with that. The arch villain, whatever, Masmorda, whatever her name is, I was okay with her. But, like, the little sprite dudes, I'm like, get out of here. No. I didn't even allow them in my game, Pixies. Didn't even allow them in my campaign.
My name's getting tarnished here. No, it's perfectly fine. Like I said, I don't know if I would hold up today if I...
You don't have to make excuses, man. You can say I'm not working for you anymore, and I would understand. I really would.
No, you could trash the movie that's near and dear to my heart. It's okay. I'll let.
I think it's near and dear to Jack's heart, too, so believe me. I mean, I know I'm making no friends here.
Yeah, Neverending Story is a terrible, terrible movie. I still love it, though. Same with Willow. What's another one? There was a Macaulay Culkin movie that was half live action, half animation, and he goes to the library and it turns into full animation until the end of the movie again. I forget the name of it, but Another trashy fantasy movie I still love. Yeah, I grew up in a weird time. I wouldn't even say it was the best of times. Page Master, thank you. Yes. I kind of want to watch it now. This is your guys' fault. All of you. It's all of your fault that I have to continue to watch trashy fantasy movies. Treebor's hoping his daughter didn't hear you trash the Pixies. Oh. The book is better than the adaptation. I will give it that. Oh, does it, Princess? I haven't watched in like, I don't know, 5 years, if I'm going to be honest. 10 years, if I want to lie.
Alazilla is coming in with Lady Hawk, which I think I've only seen once.
Good. I like Lady Hawk. Yeah, I don't think it holds up well, but I still enjoy it.
What was the dragon one? What was the dragon one?
Dragonheart with Sean Connery, the voice of the dragon?
Well, no. There was another one where he's got to fight a dragon, and he's got a dragon scale as a shield and a spear. I think I've just named every fantasy movie ever.
I mean, you're not helping. Let's see. I can Google list of dragon movies. Dragonheart's the one I was thinking of.
I want to say, like, you know, Dragon Strike or
list of dragons.
Dragon Slayer. Alazilla, you're a wonderful human being. Dragon Slayer. I only saw that once, but I remember as a kid really enjoying it, which I'm sure is utter crap.
I tried. I really did. I grew up with also Hercules and Xena. I love them when they were out. I tried to go back and watch them. I couldn't get through them at all. I had to stop. I had to stop myself. I was like, no, I can't do it. You're hurting yourself.
There's a lot of movies like that, isn't there?
Yeah, movies too. Reign of Fire I thought was fantastic, but it didn't get good reviews, unfortunately.
I liked Reign of Fire. I was okay with Reign of Fire. I've seen that one twice now.
Yeah, I thought McConaughey and the other guy did a good job. I know the other guy.
It wasn't brilliant, but it was okay.
Right, it was I got my money's worth out of it, I thought. And if you're gonna go out, what better way to go out than a dragon?
Princess Stricker, these are clay. These are clay horses. That's why they're not whittled down to bones.
Oh, Jack's come to defend me in my Willow passion. Thank you, Jack.
Oh, goddamn. he was probably off playing a computer game somewhere, and he was like, I hear Willow being besmirched. I must go and rescue Pex. Goddamn. Who invited Jack?
Well, they asked me my origin of my name, just to catch you up here, Jack, and it goes back to the little people in Willow, the brownies. They were called
brownies. Okay.
Together, plural. But I was a wee lad. I didn't know how to spell it, so I didn't spell it like it's spelled in the movies. I spelled it like my name is now, P-E-X-X. And then I named a couple of EverQuest 1 characters after it, and the online handle has stuck ever since. As my origin story goes, it's a lame one, but it's mine. All mine. And then Alyssa proceeded to tell us how much she hates Willow.
And I ruined the stream. And that's when Jack and Alyssa got divorced.
I just hear the tape packing box being ripped right now.
Yeah, Digital Dreaming's in there saying it's one of the best ever. What the hell? I am, Pex, I might as well come out and say I am a Nazi, because apparently I have just destroyed
I mean, that line of not liking Willow and Nazis is very thin.
It's like Pex, my social media guy, is going, God damn it, Faden, can't you just pretend to like Willow?
I mean, everybody likes Willow. You're offending everyone right now. Like, there's no helping you now.
Pex is in damage control going, I can't save you on this one, Faden.
You're on your own.
This is where the movie has Pex just looking across the office at Faden going, shaking his head, and he walks out Credits.
Pretty much. Let's see. What are some other trashy fantasy movies I liked?
Well, okay, so what was the one, and I always forget the name of it. I know there was Krull. I kind of liked Krull. But there was the one... Well, yeah, I think Krull's got a soft spot in everyone's heart, right? What was the one that had the sword with 3 blades on it? I always forget the name of it. And the blades would shoot off.
Oh, no. That was... God. I watched that movie with Tinkar back in Tinkar's days. Hawk the Slayer?
Was it Hawk the Slayer?
I think so. No, that was the one with the like machine gun crossbow. It was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, it was.
I think that also might have had the 3 sword thing. You're talking about the one that like launched off the hilt as like a...
Yes.
Yeah, I think it
Last Laugh is saying Sword and the Sorcerer.
I don't think it was Sword and the Sorcerer.
Maybe that was just a suggestion of one of the movies. Beastmaster came up from Digital Dreaming, by the way.
Oh, Beastmaster.
Beastmaster was a film.
As long as don't talk about Beastmaster 2, I'm cool. Kind of like Highlander 2. It never happened. Labyrinth was another guilty pleasure as a child and maybe an adult. But
I'm not sure I've seen Labyrinth either, by the way.
That's one with David Bowie, and he steals a baby. It sounds really bad, but it's really good.
If I've seen it once. That's it.
Probably. I don't know if it's a repeat watch movie, if you're just coming into it and didn't grow up with it again. Big Trouble in Little China, probably my best addiction as far as trashy fantasy goes, that people will agree on.
By the way, it was apparently Sword and Sorcerer.
It was. Okay.
With the shooty blades.
With the shooting blades. Yeah, okay. Then Hawk the Slayer is the repeating crossbow machine gun. That's ridiculous, and I want one.
I can remember nothing about Sword and the Sorcerer other than the shooty blades. And here's the thing. Apparently, I was heavily influenced by in my GMing, writing from the films of the era. So I added a sword to my game, and I remember it to this day, called the Sword of Rinth. And it had 5 blades, because why have 3 if you can have 5? And they also shot off, but it could also shoot fireballs, and it was freaking ridiculous. It didn't survive
It
beyond...
was like the Monty Hall magic item creation generator went off and gave it everything.
I gave it everything. And you're right, Monty Hall... I might as well have called it Monty Hall. You're right. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, but in a fantastical way. Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China, the Kurt Russell film. Dark Crystal, the original. That was hard to sit through as a child. I appreciated more as an adult than I did as a kid, honestly.
I think there's a lot of films like that, right?
Right, I do too. Gremlins, I guess. I wouldn't count that as a fantasy movie. Has some fantasy aspects for sure. And I'm probably like one of 5 people that's actually seen the Return to Oz movie and enjoyed it. There's a low count number, and there's a form to fill out in TripleFit if you want to apply. The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy was a good one.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Most people have. What I remember from that movie that still sticks in my mind is the dancing Pepsi can that he turned into like a human or a biped and danced. Spoiler alert, but that movie's like 30 years old, so I guess not spoiler. Conan, I think you already said. Heavy Metal was good. And Last Unicorn. Well, I thought they were good. People may rage against me. That's more sci-fi. I'm 50-50 on Red Sonja.
I actually remember very little about Red Sonja. Very little.
I just call it Conan movie number 4, but we'll go with Red Sonja.
I think that's a fair way to classify it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what we should be doing, Pex? We should be doing the second drawing.
We should, you're right. So my next question, there is no wrong answer. unless you don't know something. But there is no wrong answer, technically. What Indiegogo project from Frog God Games, specifically Indiegogo, not a Kickstarter project, would you like for Alyssa to work on, or had to have worked on for a map?
Okay, so this
Again,
is not a first-person
it's
answers
Indiegogo
thing.
one.
This is you judge it to be the winner.
Well, I'll take the first answer, honestly, but it must come from the Indiegogo line from Frog God Games.
Ah, so get onto Indiegogo, look at what Frog God has done over there, Indiegogo, and what do you wish I had worked on?
That is the question. There's no wrong answer, just type one in chat, so.
But if you do a bad answer, we'll ridicule you.
Yes. Alright. City-state. What? Okay, I will clarify this. Must put the name of the title in chats. Love of Valentine's Day. I'll take that from J.E. Shields.
For the love of Valentine?
Yes, that's actually on sale from our website and drive-thru at the moment for like $5 in PDF. I'll drop a link for that in a moment. But J.E. Shields, let me see. Can I message you or whisper you? I can. So this will be for the other S&W one. If you could toss me your mailing address.
Congrats, Jay. I'm actually glad I'm able to give something back to you.
Alright, you should see a window pop up, J.E. Shields, or a blinky button to click on. You just toss your address there, and I'll mail it when the snow goes away. But yes, for Love of Valentine's was our Valentine's Day module. And here, as soon as the page loads, I'll give you a link. There we go. But that one had some historical significance because it did link back to the Roman times, and Alyssa just released a video on that. So if you're curious on that, I would check that video out as well. But yeah, basically your characters are in a land of turmoil while being haunted by the law, perhaps something darker. And it is inspired by the tales of Saint Valentine and the ancient legends of Lupercalia. And then you're tasked with answering the question through playing, will love triumph? And I'll pull up Alyssa's video and drop a link for that for those curious that have not watched yet.
And if you've not watched it, go watch it. Put a comment in the chat. We're pushing up, actually, I don't know how close we are now on YouTube, but we're pushing 1,000 followers on YouTube. So if you don't follow me over there yet, please do, because I actually come up with a lot of short form content that is never streamed. Okay, how-to guides. I recently reviewed, I don't know if it actually got posted yet, the worst maps that are non-role-playing maps of all time, and it's freaking hilarious. I'm doing unboxing videos. Go over there, hit me up with a follow. It costs you nothing.
And we have hit 1,000. It says 1,000. I'm looking at it right now. Happy
We hit
anniversary.
1,000? We hit 1,000 on my anniversary! Yay! That's awesome.
We did the thing. We did the thing.
We
Yay.
did a thing. That's great. Thank you, Pax.
Well, it was 1,000 other people, but I'll take credit for them, sure.
There wouldn't even be a YouTube channel if it wasn't for you.
Aw, shucks. I have good ideas sometimes, maybe. Yes, and Jack's right. If you want alerts for when her videos come out, hit that bell as well on YouTube. So yeah, Valentine's Day module, Valentine's Day video. We hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. This past, I don't know, 2 minutes. Wow, lots happened. How do we keep up? Well, yeah, I guess I'll ask this to the audience here. Did anybody do anything special for Valentine's Day? I did. I stayed in.
I think I'm going to start working on walls on this thing. I think I'm... Oh, no, I'm going to add some cobwebs. But I'm done on this level. I am excited in my pants.
I cut down a row of criminals against a brick wall. Are you in law enforcement? Or are you a superhero? Or both? I sent my family to Texas. You're a horrible person.
Oh, Jay! Holy shit, man!
Nah, you're a troublemaker. Okay. Careful with that troublemaking. I played a D&D in a haunted lighthouse. That's not a bad way to spend Valentine's Day.
That is pretty cool. That's really freaking cool.
And Trebor bought a couple of our, I assume are the past modules, Trebor, Chaos Rising and Hall of the Rainbow Mage, not the remakes that we made recently? Or were they the remakes? There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, that looks good.
I sliced a cow open with... What? Where'd it go? I sliced a cow open with a lightsaber and then crawled inside of it for warmth in Texas. You pulled a tauntaun. I like it.
Dali has paid off his freaking mortgage.
That's a huge win, and congratulations. That's a milestone, actually.
That is an incredible win. Digital Dreaming, thank you for the follow. Super, super, super appreciative. Thank you.
Ooh, more people. You are gonna have a legion. What is the quantifiable number that makes up a legion? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, we're going to be going with like almost 6,000 at this point, right? I mean, if we want to be pedantic about it, like 4,800 or something like that, but we need a few more yet. We're more like a cohort right now.
We're on our way.
We're definitely on our way.
You too can join the
And
Legion.
T-Beard just helped. So T-Beard, you just helped towards the second cohort. Thank you.
Ooh, more people. Keep clicking the follow button. It's important.
Wow. Grey Knight and Grey Beard. Terrible Space. I mean, thank you. Thank you all of you for the follows. It's really, really, really appreciated. Still need shelves in the room with the palace. Says, you know what? So I'm going to apologize to everyone right now. We have the pesky writer of Necropolis in the chat with us, Mark. I don't want to put a spotlight on him, but look at Mark G1. 1 is not the year he was born in, but it could be. Mark, the writer, even though I was just announcing that I was done with this map, is getting me to go back into a room and add more. My apologies to everyone. I'm going to do that right now because he is a writer, and the writers get way higher credits than us humble cartographers.
It's true. I could show people the credits in the book. It literally goes writer, the cartographers is somewhere over here.
The cartographers are looking to even get credit. Put it that way.
Right?
By the way, I love this model. I really love drawing this model right here. Alright, so I've got apparently room E. Room E. Let's read the description from room E. Hey, Alex Vixen is here. Alex, thank you for being here. Love you, girl. Lord Dahlia says, Alyssa, I rather enjoyed seeing you in your anniversary video. It was very cool to get a reverse camera angle of your tidy artist's nuke. Thank you. So one thing that we've actually been working on is I bought a whole bunch more hardware so I can record videos on my phone and have proper lighting and microphones and stuff. But also, I got this. And I mean, there's various attachments and things on it right now, but this is a G8 GoPro with the cage on it, which enables me to put a light on it, which enables me to put a microphone on it, and I recorded it on the GoPro. And I want to thank my Patreon supporters for making this happen, and for my Twitch subscribers. Seriously. I got this, and I positioned it over here. And yeah, it enables me to kind of come back in and look at my little sort of artist area where I work. So we'll be doing more videos like that.
I like how your mic, the mic looks like a Tribble from Star Trek. It amuses me greatly. You have no idea.
What's that?
The fluffy mic attachment on top looks like a
this thing. Star Trek. Oh, right. I mean, look at it. It
amuses me greatly.
I mean, and actually, if I pull this off just real quick, I mean, it's a directional microphone, which is kind of cool. I mean, look how slender and easy that is. But then this is what wraps around it. It is a Tribble. It's a total Tribble. Oops.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Princess Strega says, Pex, that's called a dead cat. And you know what? I can't argue with you.
I mean, I don't think they're mutually exclusive, to be fair.
Yeah, I think, so one thing I want to do is I do want to get a green screen capability behind me to have real crisp, false backgrounds. I don't mind the room behind me showing because it's our gaming area and it's got all of our gaming books and miniatures and everything over there, so I don't mind that. And dead behind me is where I do my painting and stuff, but I like getting the shot into this little cubicle area because it's got my computer, it's got my monitors, it's got some of my hobby supplies over there, and I think it's a cool angle for you to be able to see, honestly, at this point where I spend 90% of my life.
It's like your cubicle.
Alright, so what is with these shelves? 15E. A large cedar table. We got all of that done. Marble floors. Okay, shelves on shelves on the northwest and southwest corners. Northwest and southwest. West, by the way, is the top of the map on this one. Just don't even ask. Just roll with it. Just flow with it. West is up there. North is over there, I think, is the way you're looking at it. Just shh. Just
directions don't matter. They're not important.
Princess Strega says, now you have a GoPro, you have no excuse not to do a tour of your gaming room. Boom! Exactly right. You're going to see a lot more videos like that, believe me. Now I've got the GoPro and I've messed around with it a couple of times. I really like it. You're going to see a lot more videos of me on the go. We'll do the gaming area. We'll do a tour of the miniatures area. And, I mean, the miniatures area is all over the house, but I'll focus, okay? I'll focus on the main ones. You're going to see, I've got some dice I want to show you all. I'm going to do an unboxing of that. I have a box of effing cool miniatures. Which I haven't even opened yet. I'm going to do an unboxing of that. We're just going to do a lot more fun videos. That's why you need to follow me on YouTube, because they get posted over there, not here. Digital dreaming. I know, right? Triggered. Yeah, I'm sorry, but well, actually, you could see it here on the original map. North is over there.
We'll be back in just a moment.
Mark says, to be fair, based on Egyptian theology, where west is the direction of death. Hence, up is death. Or something like that. I'm sure it had a really good reason. It breaks my brain every time now. Anyway, I've got to add some shelves. What's on these shelves? On the shelves, northwest and southwest, are open-topped boxes each with a lattice of wood subdividing the box into small squares. In each square is a small token with a hieroglyph. Mark, I think you wrote this knowing that I would take that as a challenge. I think you did this on purpose. Shelves with boxes. The boxes are subdivided. Inside the subdivisions are little discs, and on the discs are hieroglyphs. Really? Really? This is what we're doing, is it, Mark? Alright, well, I accept your challenge, sir. I accept your challenge. Kaifer, the map on this one is every single square you see is 5 feet, but it will absolutely have a scale. I think the old one must have had a scale, right? Yeah, 1 square equals 5 feet. So this one definitely has a scale. Okay, fun fact, everyone. And then I'm going to add shelves and little boxes and discs and shit. I once did a map without a scale, thinking and expecting the customer to add his own scale, because that was our agreement, and he didn't. And and it was a map I was super proud of too. Even to this day, I'm super proud of it. I love it. It was reviewed, the product was reviewed, and the fact that the map didn't have a scale was pulled out as a negative. And to this day, I will never let a map leave my workbench without putting a scale on there. It broke my heart, it did. I will not say otherwise. I was really sad. Mark, you are on, sir. You are on. By the time we shrink this down, you're not going to see it, but you are on.
Is Mark bullying you again?
No, he's challenging me. It's different.
That's a form of bullying, maybe. I don't know.
It wasn't Kobold, no. In fact, I'll tell you the map because it doesn't really matter. It was for Timothy Brown, who I actually really like as a person. I've met him. I really like Timothy Brown. Timothy Brown almost got Jack and I married because he's an ordained minister. He almost married us right then and there. Timothy Brown is the guy behind Dark Sun. And he did Dragon Kings, 5, 6, 7 years ago. He relaunched his Dragon Kings. And he had Brahm as an artist and shit. And I did this big, huge 4-poster spread of the Dragon Kings map. It's the one that has this hive pattern going on and these weird obsidian mountains. It's one of my proudest pieces of artistic cartography. And I did not put a scale on the map, and nor did I put a border on it, because he had these great illustrious artists participating, and I'm like, you should probably get them to draw the frame and the scale for this map. And it didn't happen. It launched just almost virginal, clean, no scale. I had some labels on it, no frame, and it got pulled out as a negative. I'm such a glorious person to work for, such a glorious project to work for, and my map was dinged because it had no scale. So never again, never again.
I see Loonturn, my bean buddy, has joined the chat. There's 2 of us, maybe 3. They like to torture.
Green Loonturn, welcome.
Yes.
And Treebor, yeah, man, I should. I should. I've actually been reorganizing because of PEX my entire project folder. And honestly, and I kid you not, I come across work that I forgot that I've done. Literally. And I go, oh yeah, this project. So I actually think drawing a list would be a great idea. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all.
It's a big folder, guys. It's a tall order. And I don't think she's going to eat the bean tonight, Loonturn. As much as I personally would enjoy it.
You know what? I'm going to eat the bean. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yes. I get to react to it.
I'm going to do it. Alright, let me move my GoPro to one side and grab the deadly bean jar. Let's do it.
It's deadly.
Alright. It's been a while since we've done a bean, right? For anyone who's watching right now and you don't know what's going on, in this jar, there are good beans and there are bad beans. I could be eating a bean that is strawberry heaven. And there could be a bean in here that is literally cat puke or soured milk. I kid you not. There's also mixed in here spicy beans. And a Carolina Reaper is in here. These beans can lay me out. And I don't know where I'm going to go.
The best idea I've ever had.
That's debatable, Pax.
Best idea ever had.
Alright, I'm going with this bean. It's a big bean. I might regret this. Okay. But it might also be good. That's super orangey. I think I'm okay. I'm safe.
Wait,
I feel like the umpire going, she's safe.
Some of them are tricksy. It may turn over to bad.
And they can. They can go, hey, I'm a sweet one. Here's some spice. No, that's okay. That is a pure orange extravaganza right there. That was okay.
Well done. Well played.
Thank you, not Treebor, Green Lantern. Thank you for that one. I was safe on that, and Treebor, thanks for having my back. Because they can be terrible. I feel like I've had a little bit of luck recently, you know.
Jar slid more toward good this time. Oh man.
Yeah, and the white beans, one of the white beans actually laid Jack out. Jack on camera had to leave. So I guess he wasn't on camera anymore. He was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, and he had to go. They can get really, really bad.
I want to ask you, since it is the anniversary of the Patreon, what made you start Patreon in the first place?
I'm sorry, I got distracted by Alex Dixon. Oh, giving me, let me just focus on this. I'm going to use this. These are hieroglyphics for GDZ. These are going on the discs.
Ooh.
We are keeping that right now. I'm going to move this up there. Those are going on the discs somehow. So, okay, so, honestly, Pex, seriously? Because everyone told me I should. And I know that's a real lame answer. But it was like... I think the thing is, I was doing maps for some pretty big names in the industry. And I was beginning to do some really super sexy maps that... we're going to get attention, and I want to say Teagle was one of them, because I was working on Teagle at that time. I was kind of in the middle of Teagle, and I'm like, I'm working on a map that is 12 feet across. No one does this. No one has done this, and I doubt anyone's going to do it again. And I felt like I needed to, I was about to get crude, but let's just say get serious. And like, I needed to start establishing some roots, some solid roots, and portraying was expected of you, you know? It's like, it's a little bit like in the old days, that you're not running a business if you don't have a business card. And it's like, nowadays, it's like, you're not doing anything if you don't have a Patreon account. Of course you must have a Patreon account of some description. So that's why I did it, in all truth.
Cool. On that note, I think I'll do the third of our 4 giveaway question. And you
tell everyone what it's for, though, because we've got some new people in chat.
Yes, this is for a Teagle Manor published book that Alyssa did a map for, the big Manor map. And let me turn off my... No, not that. Ruined it all. Let's see. Virtual background. And none. This book right here. There we go. and this will be for the S&W version. And there are her gorgeous maps in this book. Let's see if I can find a portrait.
And I'm not lying to you guys when I say that this is maybe one of the most beautiful maps or beautiful books I've ever picked up in my life. I, up until recently, actually didn't even own it. I picked it up at a convention at the Frog's booth, and I was blown away at how gorgeous this thing was. It's actually a thick book too. This is a serious game book right here.
Right, and there's several more. I forget the page number of all of them, but there's bits of the manor chopped up in these books, so you can focus on the particular area you're actually adventuring in. And this is the softcover version as well. A very nice softcover. I'm actually pleased with it. And so the fun question.
Now, is this another timed one, Pex, or you gonna let like a few people jump in on this one?
This one is just the first person to get the answer right, but you may need to help verify the answer because.
All right, because we still have Dungeon Tomb with us. Dungeon Tomb, I can't believe you're sticking this one out, my friend. I really hope you win.
So, what are the released or published? So Necropolis won't count here. That Alyssa Faden has worked on for Frog God Games. And I just gave you the answer to one of them, which is Teagle Manor. You needed a refresher on one of the ansers.
And there's a wild shot in this one that might trip a few people up.
Right, I think I know what you're talking about. So yeah,
there's at least one wild shot. So what maps have I done? What projects have I done for Frog God Games
that have been published, not any ongoing work or non-published?
Right. So forget Necropolis, right? And so you know I did Teagle. We just gave you that one.
Teagle's a freebie. First one in chat gets a book. Brian not working. Crying.
This is actually a little bit of a hard one.
This is.
Lokatoy was not a Frog God one. But there's good. I think you need to be, Pex, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's, including Teagle, I think there's 3?
Yes. Including Teagle, there are 3.
J Shields, yes. And even then, I can actually affect. When I want to move the map with my palm, it doesn't work. But if I just lean my hand on there, my monitor goes, "Oh, you wanted to do a zoom out?"
Well, list them out, Trebor, if you know them.
Trebor has been following me for a long time. Trebor may well know the answer. I reserve the right, by the way, to completely forget a project I've done and go, oh, yeah, actually there's 5 of them. I reserve that right. I recently was doing some sorting out and came across a map, or project, a whole series of maps, and went, oh yeah, this one. So, yeah.
Well, that's okay, Trebor. If you want to list them and not take the prize, I'll let the next person that copies and pastes your answer get the prize.
Yeah, there you go, Trebor. Everyone watch Trebor.
Who can copy and paste the fastest?
Black Lung was not a Frog God title.
No, we have it in our store, but it's not by us.
And Necropolis, it was not. I mean, yeah, it's a good catch that it is on the Frog store. Necropolis is what I'm currently working on, so that doesn't count. Oh shit! Actually, there's 4 projects. AEIOU just reminded me of the 4th one. There's 4 people. There's 4.
You can give hints if you want. I'm not opposed to hinting them. To
All right,
answer.
well, AEIOU, cities with the clouds floating above them, Alyssa's. I don't think that's mine. But think floating cities. That's one of them. Treebo's still looking up a title. Where's my pen? I threw my pen away. There we go.
That one's a Alex Kamer game. Well, I don't know if that was for Game or not. But
Actually, so this could get really tricky because like the Alex Kamer titles that Fargard publishes, do they count?
No, they're made for Game Hole. It's kind of like Black Long. We have them listed on our site, but they are Game.
Okay.
Gotta have that Frog God Game logo.
Yeah, Alex Vixen says Trillium. Trillium is a great example of what would not count. And I just learned that myself. Because, yes, it's like it's on their store, but it's actually by Alex Kamer. I don't know even know what Alex Kamer's store is called, his publishing thing.
Game Hole Publishing, I think, is the name of
his
company.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. He went simple, memorable. Another hint, she did one in a series of 4. That is a great hint for one of them. A quest, if you will.
It may be that no one is gonna get this one.
Right, I may have to do a different question. All right, we'll make it simpler. Name one Frog God game product other than Teagle. And the word quest and the word doom is in one of the answers.
And the word brass is in another answer.
I don't think you did Cat's Cradle. Did you?
Treeball says Quest of Doom 4, give it to Dungeon Tomb. That's what he says.
Dungeon Tomb, you win a prize.
Dungeon Tomb, you have been a follower of mine for a long time now, my friend. Oh shit, did I just do too much of a take back? And I truly appreciate your patronage. Treeboss has been a follower of mine for a long time as well. And he has decided to gift unto you the prize.
And Dungeon Tomb, you should see a blinky light or a pop-up with me asking your mailing address. If you could just toss that to me, I'll make sure it gets mailed out when the snow in Texas decides to go away.
City of Brass, Quest of Doom. That one had something like 20 maps in it, by the way. That was a big one. City of Brass actually had about 12 or 16 maps in it. So City of Brass, by the way, check out City of Brass if you've not already. Just go look at it online. It's an incredible campaign setting. Quest of Doom. I've not actually seen Quest of Doom with my own eyes, so I can't even tell you how my maps were used. But I could just say I did about 30
I will
of
look you
them.
up after the stream with the digital version.
I also did an overland map, which honestly, I think if someone could tell me if my overland map ever got used, I'd be very appreciative. But I think it was one of my first commissions with Frog God. Actually, Frog God Games, I think, thinks that Quest of Doom was my first commission with them. It wasn't. I actually did an overland map with Frog God Games. That was it, just an overland map, and it was inserted into a project somewhere, and I have no idea where that went. What was the fourth one, Pax?
Quest of Doom 4, Teagle Manor.
Teagle Manor was the fourth. But
Peter Brass, and then, yeah.
The mystery fourth one.
And then Necropolis here would be 5.
Necropolis would be 5.
And then Zach's gonna get reprinted his module that you did for him, not Death and Taxes.
And that's kind of an edge case. So Whisper and Venom, Death and Taxes is going to get reprinted. Those maps will suddenly become God property.
Exactly. I don't think you worked on Sea Kings, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Ian, no, Sea King's Malice apparently wasn't. That was under Gamehole Calm, but it just happened to be carried by God.
No, two different things here. He has his Gamehole modules that are Gamehole, and then Sea King's Malice is us. So if you worked on
Sea King's Malice. Actually, no.
That counts, yeah.
No, Sea King's Malice is not me. There's nothing in Sea King. Well, no, there might be. There might be. Let me tell you a story about Sea King's Malice. I did the ship maps for Sea King's Malice, but they were never used because Beetle and Grimm did the ship maps.
So they're technically under Beetle and Grimm.
They're Beetle and Grimm. Well, and Beetle and Grimm did do the ship maps, even though I did ship maps as well. Mine were just used at a convention. They were kind of throwaway. So I don't think my ship maps were ever used legitimately. Like, I don't want to say legitimately. My ship maps were never used. Period. It's like I just did a sketch. Unless Beetle and Grimm didn't do the ship maps in a scenario, and they just did like the rolled set, which would be interesting. So this is a potential fifth or sixth here.
I have the Beetle and Grimm thing that I'm pulling out here that I won't be able to get back in ever again. But I think your ship maps are in here.
No, really? My map's in with Beetle and Grimm now.
Well, there's some ones. Hold on, let me turn the camera mode again.
The treasure map, Ian, yes. The treasure map, I think, is all me. But it may be the only piece of me in that project.
Are these yours or them?
No, that's them.
That's them.
That's them. They're nice maps. Beetle and Grimm did great work. But it was a weird project. It was like, we want you to do the ship maps, but by the way, Beetle and Grimm are also doing the ship maps. And it was maybe, honestly, fun fact, the strangest project I've worked on. Because Beetle and Grimm are doing the ship maps, and it's nice artwork, it is. But it didn't match the description of the ships, so there was a lot of me drawing, let's say, a snow, or a frigate, or whatever, and me looking at their map and going, but guys, that doesn't map the description, and them going, oh right, so we'll do corrections. But they got prime spot. They got to do the ship maps. So I actually ended up doing something like 3 or 4 ship maps for nothing. Well, I got paid, but they were for nothing. It was like, it was a weird project from that point of view. It's like, we want you to draw ship maps just because we want you to draw something, but we're not going to use it. It was bizarre.
I remember you working on them. I just don't remember whatever happened to them. So.
Nothing happened to them. I gave a printed version of one of the ship maps, and it had like 3 or 4 layers on it, to Alex, so he had something to like run his game with at a convention, and that was it. Like those maps, I don't think ever went public. I don't think anything ever happened to them.
Gotcha.
They are in the Patreon archive, though, because I drew them.
They exist.
They exist.
Yeah.
There were ship maps in the book, says Mark. Maybe they got used that way.
I have to go back and look, but maybe?
Maybe they got included in the book that way. Maybe.
Well, I have my last question, and this is for the 5e version.
Oh, by the way, Dungeon Tomb wants the Discord link. Just, you can put that as a follow-up item, Pex.
Sure. I'll give it to him now, because he's to give me his address on Discord later.
And Dungeon Tomb is like 3-4 o'clock in the morning right now over there. By the way, I know we're going a little bit long, but we're also having a huge amount of fun with Pex, so if we can keep Pex for like 15 more minutes, we will, because I don't think Pex is quite done with us yet.
Well, I got people to meet, places to be. No, I'm kidding. I have nothing better to do than do this right now. I love doing this kind of stuff, actually. So, here is a fun question. There were 4 cartographers involved with Teagle Manor. One of them was Alyssa. And I'll take first names. I don't need their last names. Can anybody list the other 3 cartographers involved with Teagle Manor?
I actually only know of one, so I'm curious as well.
Yeah, I was looking on the credits page earlier in the cartographer section, which is on the far corner of where the author section is. And if you're familiar with Frog God's work, there is a person that does maps for us regularly, but there were 2 additional people that helped out.
Oh, I know. Because they helped me.
Yes, they did.
I know.
They got credits. They're listed in the book. That is correct, Digital Dreaming. You win. It was Alyssa, Robert, and design elements from Ainsley and Raven.
And Raven. So the story behind that is we have a map on a deadline and we need it now. This is a map, by the way, that was 350 hours of effort, like my biggest map ever, and I had to just get this thing out the door. So there was this like wall details to do, there was like getting some furniture to draw, and Ainsley stepped in. She did some furniture and she did all of the remaining walls that I had not finished. She did all of the rest of it. And then Raven, Lloyd's daughter, Raven is very, very talented as a human being and a wonderful human being. She did a whole bunch of furniture too. So when I get asked, where did this come from? Where did that desk come from? And I say, well, multiple sources. Some has actually been drawn. Ainsley and Raven have done some of this stuff before. And I reuse it. Some of this stuff is probably in here.
Cool. Digital Dreaming was quick on that one. It's actually the exact text, so I'm thinking somebody opened the PDF, which is perfectly fine. So I will get that mail to you in the snow, and that was for the 5e version, just to clarify.
Yeah, and Casey, Ainsley, I would actually like to do more work with, but I mean, this is someone that's in school now. She's in college, you know. She's in that sort of stage of her life. But Ainsley does great work too. Fun fact, Ainsley and Raven were both, and honestly I'm going to include Keelan at this point. Keelan has done some artwork in this map. All 3 of these cool artists helped me recoloring some of my maps, which you will occasionally see crop up here and there in the future. They're kind of part of the team. Ainsley's very, very talented, and honestly, Ainsley is talented like Christopherson and Raven. Raven has so much talent, she just like blows me away. Oh, look at that, Digital Dreaming. Yeah, I got a PDF. I just like copied. But you know what? It's fair. You got a PDF, man. I can't argue about that.
Hey, I'm not gonna fault you for that. I would have done the same thing. So you win a prize. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And congratulations to our 3 other winners. Princess and Digital Dreams and the Dungeon Tomb. And then J.E. Shields was our other winner.
J. Shields. Alright. So give me a second with this, guys. Give me a second. I want to get these tokens kind of dropped in here. You're probably wondering what the hell I'm doing.
I got more room on my bookshelf. Yay.
Thank you, Pex, for doing that.
Oh, no problem at all. I mean, I usually give my excess stuff away at cons and or people getting into gaming anyway. So it's one of those where I absolutely don't mind.
From Pex's personal collection.
Yeah. See if I can entertain the chat while you do your thing.
I'm determined, my friend. I am determined to get these symbols from Alex Vixen dropped onto this disc, and then get this disc shrunk down, pivoted, and dropped into these holes, and then dropped onto the shelf. That's what I want to get done. Then we could say this level is done.
Alex is just a wealth of information. I don't know if her Google Fu powers are just that strong, or if she knows this stuff off the top of her head. She's amazing. But whenever she speaks up, I just read her material. And it's like, huh, the more you know.
Right? Yeah. And she admits that there's a little bit of both.
Her Google Fu is very strong, as well as her knowledge in general.
Well, this is why they don't allow her on
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. Yeah.
There's a blacklist on Jeopardy, and Alex is right at the top. I can see it.
Alright, we'll merge this. We'll now transform. Oh, you know what we're gonna do? What we're gonna do?
Mark, my name has no value in the industry. You hush. Me signing it will devalue the book. I mean, I could print a certificate. I guess that would be kind of fun, but yeah.
You could do a certificate, right? Get one of those like little Office Depot fake certs, a little sticker.
Right, it would be the provenance. That's a fact. But I think me touching anything signature related in a book would devalue it instantly. Well, -1. My name are actually on. I don't think I'm on Teagle. I think this is before I was a partner at Frogs. Let me check. It's all the same nowadays. Let's see. Nope, this was before my time as a partner. So if I were to sign this, I would devalue your book.
You're not going to devalue the book. Come on.
I would devalue the book. I would. If my name was in the credits, then it would have, like, I don't know, increase the value by a nickel.
A nickel.
That's how much my name's worth. Yeah, if you're not the writer or like the owners of the company, I don't think your name value, or a photographer like yourself or the artist, I don't think the name value, like what are some other credits in here? Editors, producers, project managers, fantasy grounds conversion, cover design, layout and graphic design, art director, special projects director. So yeah, I mean, my name generally goes in the section nowadays Frog God Games is, and that's just because I'm one of the owners. But I most of the time, outside of like marketing the book, I have very little involvement with the book itself. What did you do with Teagle Manor? I sold it. That's what I did.
It's like, can you sign my book for me? Can you sign my book? What did you do? I sold it. Oh no, don't sign my book.
No, we
Come on!
Oh, they did an art piece for it. Let's go talk to them. They're more important. It's like, yeah, they are. You should go talk to them. They did something. Yeah, Casey's like in every book. In some way. Either he's writing the book or doing the artwork or helping with the artwork or all.
I don't know how Casey actually keeps up in life in general.
Well, the crazy thing is he's a school teacher on top of all this.
Right.
And I don't know how he juggles both. Really
and
don't.
School teachers are insanely busy people.
Right, exactly. And, I mean, we all wear many hats, but I think he wears more stressful hats than I. Yeah, high school art teacher. That's what he does.
Can you imagine being a teacher and a prolific writer at the same time? I mean, I
I was
can't
actually
even.
going to college, fun fact, to become a teacher. And then I discovered there's no money in it, so I sold out for marketing. I changed majors. I remember the day I decided that, actually. But I really wanted to become a teacher because I thought it would have a lot of, and I still believe it has a lot of value and significance in your everyday life. But I decided I like money, honestly. And there's not a whole lot of money to be had. But those people are some of the most hardest working people in the country, along with like nurses and doctors and lawyers and stuff. They work really hard hours and benefit the world, I think. So more power to teachers. And if anybody from the government's listening, you should increase their pay because those people deserve it.
Is Mark still in the chat, by the way? Is Mark still in the chat?
He's lurking. He's taking notes to judge us.
Because if he is, I want to know how many of these boxes are in here. Mark, how many boxes on the shelves? Because I accidentally closed down my room descriptions. Jay says, did I ever share the map project I did last summer? You helped me price that project, but I don't remember if I showed it to you. I don't think you showed it to me. No, you didn't show it to me. Just one in each of the corners. Okay. Glad I asked. I had too many. Look at all of that work I did for something you can barely see, but we know that those initials on those tokens stand for GDZ. Goddamn it, Zach. There's another Easter egg in this dungeon. Let me just draw the shelf. Oops. Shadow. And we can be done here. Pex, it has been a blast, my friend.
Indeed. It's a lot of fun.
I hope you haven't had anyone, like, say, hey, gotta get you in a meeting. Come here right now. We got a Kickstarter we're doing, like, immediately.
Right? Scramble, scramble, scramble. Do the things. Okay.
So hopefully I haven't kept you from anything.
Oh, I have a million messages, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm the guy behind the curtain, and I pull the levers and stuff, so it's a fun job. But tonight, I'm in front of the curtain, and it's a lot more fun.
Trebor, I will say this, based upon... by the way, everyone, there's a little bit of, like, cleanup I've got to do on this. Like, you see here, there's something weird going on with the wall right here. I come through the dungeon as I'm doing the actual wall blocks, and I clean up as I go. I do need to do the wall blocks, but I'll probably do a lot of that off camera. Here's another beautiful example, like weirdness happening. I'll clean up that as well. But I think on camera, this particular level is done. The next time we work on Necropolis, it will be level 1.5. And I need to actually go and get a map of that, because I don't have it right now. But what was I going to say? Tree Boy, you said, can you zoom in pretty well in the PDF? On Teagle, at least, the Frogs released a version of it in PSD.
Mm-hmm.
And which I think was their VTT version, but I don't want to sort of say one way or the other.
Yeah, it was a PSD, but if you have the PSD, you could make it a VTT.
Right. So I want to say that they will make this available as an electronic version, PDF or otherwise, and you will be able to just, I'm going to say, do this. I mean,
yeah, we recently have a new person fronting the BTT charge, and I'm really hoping that this actually becomes available for BTT. But that's a different department that I I will ask this important question. I may have an answer for you, but I hope so. Well, we got a question from Digital Dreaming.
I drew them.
Draw the tiling of
I
the
drew them.
map? The answer is yes.
Yep. So I drew them, and I did most of them actually on camera. And honestly, for the most part, like that one was a whole lot of blurring effect. For the most part, it's just honestly things like lightning brushes in Photoshop, you know, and then getting a little bit of blur going on the edges. But I think every single one of these I did. Yes. Although this black and white one, true story, came from Teagle, which I originally did over there. And then I was like, I have a black and white pattern. I did on Teagle. Hand draw, and then adding texture, coloring, and then I always typically add dirt and things to the top as well. That's like how I think all of these have gone. Jay Shields. Okay, before we end for tonight, Jay Shields worked on a project last year. That's actually nice, Jay. That's nice work right there. Can I zoom in on this? Yeah, there we go. Zoom in. Click, zoom in. No zoom in. All right.
Are those cars or what are those?
What the hell is Dropbox doing right now? Well, I guess this is as close as we get. So people and cars, a modern city. So one of the things I've said in the past is that an irregular line lends itself well to like a medieval or an ancient map. But if you're going to start getting into the current era or future, you need to be way more almost Illustrator-like with your edges. Everything needs to be way more precise and symmetrical. And this is a great example. This feels like a modern or near futuristic map, right? And it's purely because of the clean colors and the clean lines. This is nice, Jay. This is really nice. And I think he said it was a quarter of the map.
Wow. Both cars and people. Very nice. Yeah, wow. I'm impressed.
That's lovely, man. It really, really, really nice. That's what I'm talking about. Half of the project. Okay, so this is half. That's lovely. One thing I love about this channel, by the way, is when you all come in here and you share your work. You share your artwork. You share your cartography. We've got a huge creative aspect to this channel that humbles me in so many ways. But with that said, we are going to be back next week. It's going to be Monday. I don't know what we're working on, but it's probably going to be Castle Keeper's Guide. And then we're going to also revert to the second half of this map. Well, it's the second third or the second quarter of this map. It's a much, much, much smaller version of it. So with that said, you have all been so awesome tonight. Pex, it has to be your magnetic personality. You have a lot of people in the chat here for you.
Well, thanks. I don't consider myself that impressive, but I appreciate the turnout tonight, and congrats again to the winners. And thank you, Alyssa, for allowing me to be on.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Every single one of you, thank you so much for being here. I don't stream tomorrow night. I use tomorrow night to create the short form content that you get on YouTube. Don't forget, hit me up with a subscribe over there. As for tonight, thank you so much for being here. You got to witness me finishing Layer 1 of Necropolis. I'm back next Monday. I hope I see you then. I love you all. And I'll see you on the flip side. Good night, everyone, and thank you so much for hanging out. To all of you lucky winners of our 2-year anniversary, congrats to you. Thanks for being here.